Coming up on AgweekTV, U.S. Ag Secretary Sonny Perdue visits North Dakota to talk with farmers about trade and trade assistance. Get a glimpse into the future of autonomous farming. We'll look at the impact of dairy development here in the I-29 corridor. And meet a policy advocate who became the first female president of the Montana Grain Growers. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Michelle Ruck. U.S. Ag Secretary Sonny Perdue heard a parade of North Dakota Farm Group leaders offer support during a recent visit to the state, but he also heard concerns about ongoing damage from the trade wars. Michael Pates has more.
The difficulty with China, while things are very optimistic, it's never over till it's over with China.
U.S. Ag Secretary Sonny Perdue made another visit to North Dakota for a roundtable event hosted by the state's elected leaders and ag groups. Perdue says he's cautiously optimistic a trade deal will be reached with China.
Chinese are great negotiators, and they get you right up there to the feed trough and take the bucket away. I don't want to raise expectations because if it happens, it's going to be very, very, very good.
Senator John Hoeven says he's anxious for a deal, and he underlined that quickly resuming trade is vital.
One of the things I keep pressing the whole trade team on is it's not just we got to get the deal done with China. The sales got to start right away.
We watch export numbers every week.
North Dakota farmer and American Soybean Association Director Monty Peterson says that after a several-month dry spell, exports off the Pacific Northwest resumed in the past 16 weeks, but season totals are way down.
Simply put, we have a big pile to move, and our ending stocks have doubled here this last year. 900 million bushels is a lot of soybeans to move. We've got to find ways to get it marketed. China is just too much of our total volume to ignore.
I just want to say to all of you, thanks for hanging in there. I know it's been painful, but this is the only way we were ever going to get a better agreement, and this thing is going to be better in so many ways than what we had before. Not a little bit better, a lot of it better.
Perdue says President Trump understands the pressures farmers are under and is promising a positive ending to the trade negotiations.
And I've made sure he knows that you can't pay those bills to the bank with patriotism. So we're working on it. Thank you.
In Harwood, this is Michael Pates for Ag Week.
During his visit, Perdue also announced the USDA has extended the deadline for producers to certify 2018 crop production to receive a market facilitation program payment. MFP helps producers who have been hurt by the loss of exports during the trade war. The Farm Service Agency extended the deadline from May 1st to the 17th because bad weather delayed the 2018 harvest in many parts of the country.
It's amazing to think about the 1st of May, 2018 crop still in the field. We know what the weather patterns have been. We know what the blizzards have done. I'm just hoping those people can get a yield out of there and qualify for that market facilitation program.
This is big because the producer has had that anxiety of having that crop out in the field all winter long, and not being able to participate in this program was kind of a double-edged sword that he was getting stabbed. Today he's able to maybe take advantage of a crop that's still standing and get out there and harvest that and then still participate in this program.
The payments were based on actual production, so the extension will help many producers. And while the administration previously said there would be no MFP payments in 2019, White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow says they've allocated another $12 billion for trade aid if needed. Beyond trade, the region's farmers are also waiting for Congress to pass a disaster package to deal with the devastating flooding and ongoing damage. A bill has been stalled in Congress due to the political fight over aid to Puerto Rico. North Dakota Senator John Hoeven says it should have been done by now, but he's hopeful they can overcome politics.
We put significant funding on the table. We'll go back and do it again. And as the Secretary said, the goalpost got moved on Puerto Rico, or it would have been done by now, and we certainly hope it gets done ASAP.
Livestock producers have received some assistance from existing USDA disaster programs like the Livestock Indemnity Program. However, Perdue also wants an indemnity for stored grain lost to flooding, as insurance does not cover it. The Secretary also attended the ribbon cutting on the region's first autonomous farm. The Grand Farm Initiative is located south of Fargo. Autonomous farming means using artificial technology to farm robotically, even through grain marketing. Senator Hoeven says it will bring precision ag to the next level. The Grand Farm Initiative is designed to address farm labor shortages and a lack of venture capital to develop technology. The director of the project says it will attract millions of dollars in private and public capital investment and involve thousands of people.
So we're talking about software developers, people that are in UX design, robotics, all these future skills that are going to be required for the digital age. We want to use this Grand Farm as a way to understand what those skills are going to need to be and to get prepared for it.
Ag tech entrepreneur Barry Batchelor has been developing ag technology for 40 years at several companies, including Steiger Tractor, Phoenix International, and Appario. He says the future is all about data.
What's beyond iron is data. And the information that's available today and will be available to farmers in the future will revolutionize the way agriculture is performed.
The farm is on 45 acres of donated land, and a building is being designed to house business development and collaboration. Ahead on AgweekTV, meet a Montana farmer who left the corporate world and is working to change ag policy with the help of social media.
Big Boy Toys.
Dynaflow is the ultimate high-volume water management pump. Whether you're experiencing flooding, emptying sloughs, transferring ponds, or working on irrigation, the Dynaflow pump works in as little as 18 inches of water and is designed to move 3,000 gallons per minute. The Dynaflow pump features neoprene-lined turbine bearings backed up with a sand collar to prevent debris and grit, all to assure your pump keeps working season after season. Find out more at dynaflowpump.com.
One of the things that Mosaic does really well is focuses on balanced crop nutrition in the premium products that we design. And one of those products is Micro Essentials, but it provides in every single granule a nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, in some cases zinc. We added sulfur and zinc with Micro Essentials because sulfur is one of the most deficient nutrients and zinc is the most deficient micronutrient. So our goal is balanced crop nutrition and being able to provide those products to the farmers in the world today.
Emerge with confidence this spring, knowing your crops are off to a strong start with a Case IH Early Riser Planter from Titan Machinery. Case IH Early Riser Planters help maximize yield potential with precision seed metering and a flat bottom furrow to ensure consistent seed depth and early uniform emergence. Early Riser Planters from Case IH are available in a variety of sizes and configurations, including high-speed and stack-fold models. Contact your local Titan Machinery dealer today for more information on the latest from Case IH.
Luckin Trucks and Parts sells quality used parts for all makes and models. With over 50 acres of trucks and parts and new inventory arriving daily. Family owned and operated since 1966, Luckin's specializes in the sale of quality used medium to heavy duty truck parts as well as pre-owned trucks, trailers, and construction equipment. If it's on a truck, we got it. Call us today and let us get you your part.
The sentencing date for the big game hunting co-op manager has been delayed a week. Jerry Hennessy will be sentenced June 21st in Fergus Falls. Hennessy was general manager of the Ashby Farmers Co-op elevator when it was discovered millions of dollars went missing. Investigators say Hennessy used much of the money for big game hunting around the world. Hennessy disappeared after the theft was discovered in September, but turned himself in 3 months later. He pled guilty to felony theft charges and faces up to 8 years in prison. He also owes $6.5 million to victims and the IRS. Victims can make statements before the sentencing, either in person or in writing. You can read more about this in the next Ag Week magazine or at agweek.com. The North Dakota House has voted down a bill that would have made changes to the state's private property posting laws. North Dakota is the only state in the region in which land is considered open unless it's posted for no trespassing. Landowners have advocated for decades to change the law. SB 2315 passed both chambers and it was sent to the conference committee. The bill that came out of the committee would have made all land considered posted for no trespassing except for hunting. But concerns about some of the details in the bill ultimately led to its defeat. You can read details in the next Ag Week magazine or on AgweekTV.com. A Montana woman is making a big name for herself in ag. Michelle Erickson-Jones has just wrapped up a term as president of the Montana Grain Growers Association, in addition to her duties on the farm and promoting ag on social media. Jenny Schleck visited her on her Montana farm and has more in this week's cover story.
Michelle Erickson-Jones didn't really plan a career on the farm. She has 2 master's degrees in business, which she put to work at UPS and Amazon.
I have a background in transportation and operations, and I have a dual MBA in mediation, dispute resolution, and operations management.
But the pull of the land was too strong for this 4th-generation farmer. She returned to the farm in 2012.
I've been interested in farming since I was about 6 years old, and we got a lease opportunity that put Dad over the amount he could farm by himself, and so I had the chance to come back.
Erickson-Jones farms with her dad, brother, and husband. They have a grain and forage operation. Although she grew up on the farm, Erickson-Jones says her corporate experience, especially in Amazon's pilot grocery program, has given her a different perspective.
It's definitely been interesting to have experience in the grocery on the retail side, to come back on agriculture and see how, all the supply chains tie together.
But perhaps the most interesting aspect has been her work on ag policy and her advocacy on social media.
There wasn't a lot of people that talked about policy as well as telling their farm story, and it was just, it feels like as we have less and less farmers and less people involved in agriculture, that it's more and more important to tell our stories, that consumers really want that connection.
Her next goal is to be president of the National Association of Wheat Growers.
I really like to go back to Washington and, tell farm stories and work with our policymakers and be a voice even in, on the local stage, and it's been really rewarding.
Near Broadview, Montana, this is Jenny Schlecht for Ag Week.
You can read much more about this in the next Ag Week magazine or on AgweekTV.com. Coming up on Ag Week TV, we'll see how cool wet weather is affecting planting around the region. And later, how dairy development is helping South Dakota's economy.
With the success of the Case IH Steiger Quad Track and Magnum Road Track tractors, it's no secret why Case IH is the leader of the track. So it wasn't surprising when the competition started imitating us. But only Case IH offers a 5-axle design to give you a smoother ride, more power to the ground, with less berming and compaction. Still, we're flattered. In fact, if we weren't already red, we'd be blushing.
This is Dennis Beliski reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
How can one tillage tool handle most field conditions, residue types, and tillage practices? It takes a Renegade, the Summers VRT Renegade. Switch from vertical to aggressive tillage and anywhere in between. Adjust blade angles, tillage depth, and more on the go, all from an iPad. Get the tillage results you want, like only the Summers VRT Renegade can. For more information or a demo, contact your Summers dealer.
For over 40 years, Northside Implement has been your Gallon Vermeer dealer in Webster, South Dakota and Lidgerwood, North Dakota, with new equipment including feeding, grain handling, haying, and skid steer, as well as a nice selection of used equipment including sprayers, spreaders, seeding, as well as tractors and loaders. Northside Implement stands behind the equipment they sell with quality service guaranteed. See us for all your repairs and parts from tillage to skid steer loaders to combines and everything in between. Contact Dave, Liddell, Mike, or Chris today at Northside Implement or visit our website for our complete equipment listings.
Small or large, Superior Grain Equipment has a storage solution for you with a wide variety of bin options and accessories, along with site planning and superior customer service. Plus, from top to bottom, we offer the industry's best bins and warranties to protect your products and your grain storage investment. Get superior quality, protection, and reliability with generations of experience and dependability. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
With the cool, wet weather, planting is delayed across the Corn Belt and Northern Plains. U.S. corn planting was 15% done in this week's USDA crop progress report versus the average of 27%. Spring wheat seeding is even farther behind at 13% versus 33% normally, and farmers in the region have made almost no progress, especially in South Dakota, where planting is 52% behind average. Corn planting is already about 2 weeks behind in South Dakota, and the cool, wet weather and extended forecast has many farmers watching their optimum yield slipping away. Some are already asking about switching corn hybrids, but agronomists recommend sticking with full maturities in eastern South Dakota, even into northern Iowa until mid to late May.
Long-term research shows that the full season maturities still continue to pay off even when they're planted a little later. So I continue to say somewhere around that 10th to the 15th of May for your fullest season products. Keep those going. After that, maybe ease up a little bit if you can.
He says yield loss in corn starts after May 1st at a rate of around 5 bushels per week for most maturity groups. However, it's still dependent on the season. For our crop stop this week, Mickle was in central North Dakota near Dawson, where he ran across the Harple Farm and Ranch. Terry and his son Landon run a diversified operation. They run 440 head of cow-calf pairs and have around 1,000 acres of mostly irrigated grains. They also have 40 acres for corn silage. Last year, Terry got 38 tons per acre, and this year is shooting for 42. He attributes the high yield to using manure.
It's a natural fertilizer. It makes the full circle. We haul the manure out now and we'll incorporate it. We haul it out to the fields and then we turn around, and once that's incorporated into the ground, the soil tests are done, of course, and we start putting crops in.
The Harples each have a truck for custom cattle hauling in the fall and winter. Terry's wife and Landon's fiance each have off-farm jobs as well. Farmers are hoping for a break from our cool, wet weather pattern to get into the field. Here's John with our AgriWeather Outlook.
Obviously, it's now May. Mid-May is approaching, and the weather pattern is beginning to show some signs of evolving into a different pattern. Trending warmer here. The key word is trending, and I'm talking about the Northern Plains, Upper Midwest. I don't mean we're about to get a heat wave. I just mean that we're going to get out of this incredibly wet and chilly pattern that we've been in lately. Speaking of the wet, the general trend will be not as rainy, although we still are in a showery weather pattern for a while. We'll show that. Concentration of stormy weather is in the southern United States, and we'll take a look at where that stormy pattern is headed. First of all, the jet stream pattern very much split into two sections right now, with a ridge along the east coast and a semblance of one trying to form along the west coast, which has kept the center of the nation fairly cool. But as this pattern begins to evolve, we'll see more troughing building along the west coast this week, which will pump up the temperatures a little bit into the Midwest and Great Plains. It's not going to bring searing heat further north, but it will cause the cool weather to retreat quite a bit over the next few days, and the weather by this upcoming weekend will at least get stabs of mild into the Dakotas and almost warm weather moving up into central Iowa and parts of the Midwest. Looking ahead to next week, here we go with a southwest to northeast flow. That will put a lot of warm weather over the eastern United States and again keep the really cool stuff bottled up to the north. The west coast also will be looking warm and dry in this pattern. This particular week there will be occasional showers, mostly not excessive rainfall north. Stormy weather really focused from Texas and Oklahoma into the lower Mississippi River Valley. Next week that's about the same area. Might be a few showers, but a general drying out of the northern plains, a little warmer, a little less wet. Looks like we'll start getting into some better planting conditions across the north.
Martinson Ag Risk Management offers a variety of crop marketing and crop insurance packages to our customers. With over 40 years of experience, our dedicated staff works hard to ensure you get the best advice on crop insurance, marketing, and risk management. Contact Randy or any of the staff at Martinson Ag Risk Management today at 701-205-4200 or visit us online at martinsonag.com.
Steffes Group, selling land and the equipment to farm it since 1960. If you're interested in selling or have questions about our auction process, head to our website at steffesgroup.com to contact us at any one of our 4 locations located throughout the Midwest. You can also visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel to view all of our auction previews and recaps to stay up to date on the market in your area.
With the all-new GreenFit system from Rycart, plug and play is finally a reality when using John Deere AutoTrack guidance with existing new products like the Challenger 1000 series or all-new C-Series row gators from Butler Machinery. GreenFit is an authorized navigation interface that utilizes existing John Deere AutoTrack guidance system to steer most Challenger tractors and sprayers. GreenFit eliminates the worry of learning and converting to a new steering system when buying an industry-leading Challenger from Butler Machinery. Learn more about GreenFit at butlermachinery.com.
Farmers take pride in growing safe, affordable, nutritious food. And since over 90% of U.S. farms are family or individually owned, keeping land and animals healthy makes sense for all of us. If you have questions about the food you eat, talk to the people who grow it. North Dakota farmers and ranchers are your best source for reliable facts on food and farming. Visit findourcommonground.com and become part of the food conversation today. Brought to you by the North Dakota Soybean Checkoff.
We found out you can buy cameras for half the price, or you can buy them for 3 times the price of what you can get them at DRN, but we wanted to put them in. We wanted them to work. If they weren't working, it's nice to have somebody to call, get them going. But one thing that surprised us on the cameras, how little a light you need. Saves a lot of steps for us and a lot less stress on the cattle.
Ag Week special, buy 3 cameras, get the 4th free. Call DRN ReadyTech for details.
The dairy industry continues to grow in South Dakota with cheese plant expansions at Valley Queen in Millbank and AgriPure in Lake Norden. Dairy products annually contribute more than $2.7 billion and support 11,000 jobs in the state. However, to keep the industry growing, they need help with immigration, labor, and trade. That was the focus of the International Dairy Food Association's strategic flyout and roundtable in Millbank. The push for dairy development in the I-29 corridor has had a huge economic impact in South Dakota and its rural communities. Its growth the state's leaders welcome.
I mean, we're excited about what's happening in dairy in South Dakota, both on the producer side and on the processing side. A lot of jobs being created here in our state, and that's a good thing. So we want to encourage it.
The Valley Queen cheese plant alone generates about $1.6 billion from processing, and that will increase with the current expansion.
We've just invested $53 million in plant processing capacity. We'll be going from processing 4.2 million pounds of milk a day to about 5.3 million pounds of milk a day,
which will take another 75,000 to 80,000 cows in the state. But he says they're carefully matching supply with demand so they don't depress prices.
Now I think we're at the point where milk production and processing are growing at about the same rate.
However, for growth to continue, both processors and producers say the current labor crisis must be fixed.
I mean, just having enough people to fill the jobs, and that kind of bears on the issue of immigration.
And another key is trade. That's why the International Dairy Foods Association is holding flyouts in Millbank and around the U.S. with dairy and government leaders.
In the future, as we have more milk, we're going to be exporting in excess of 20% of our production. So we need access to markets, we need trade agreements.
The state has also hugely supported dairy expansion, and the Secretary of Ag says that will continue.
Governor Noem is also very supportive of egg development and livestock development, and including, the dairy industry.
Because she says the future of rural communities like Millbank depend on it.
That economic impact from, the workers here and how many times those wages get recycled, and the impact that it has on Main Street with, the grocery stores and the gas stations, and I mean, it's huge. Yeah, it's going to help build rural America again.
Partners in the Central Drainage Water Management Installation Company have purchased Central Crop Consulting's share of the company and will operate it under a new name, AIM Ag Drainage. Central formed the tiling company in 2014 as an extension of its crop consulting work. Co-owner Devin Weber says AIM Ag Drainage will continue with the same management and installation team and continue to work closely with Central Crop Consulting.
We focus on one crew. And the reason we focus on one crew is you get our A squad every time. We're not all about big tile projects. It's these little problem areas. We do a lot of that.
AMAG Drainage is a full-service company handling everything from permits to installation. Weber says they'll work primarily in about a 200-mile radius of Cass and Barnes counties. Still ahead on Ag Week TV, a bipartisan team is taking their free trade message on the road.
Add more bushels to your hopper and money to your pocket by harnessing the power of air with Crary Wind Systems. Whether your beans are chest high or barely off the ground, Crary offers two solutions that add a constant stream of high-velocity air to quickly feed crop back to the auger, eliminating bunching, reducing shatter loss, and increasing your ground speed. Don't let crop conditions dictate your yield. Check out the Crary Air Reel or Crary Wind System today.
With the success of the Case IH Steiger Quad Track and Magnum Road Track tractors, it's no secret why Case IH is the leader of the track. So it wasn't surprising when the competition started imitating us. But only Case IH offers a 5-axle design to give you a smoother ride, more power to the ground, with less berming and compaction. Still, we're flattered. In fact, if we weren't already red, we'd be blushing.
Do you have a vested interest in land?
The upcoming Great Plains Land Expo is a must-attend event for landowners, developers, mineral interest owners, farm operators, and investors.
Join us on Wednesday, June 26 in Fargo as we hear from a variety of industry leaders speaking on topics relating to land, energy, and minerals.
You'll discover ways to capitalize on agriculture and energy opportunities and learn how to become a better steward of our natural resources.
Early bird rates are available, so register today at GreatPlainsLandExpo.com.
When planting season comes around, time is precious and you don't have a moment to waste. This spring, keep your planters rolling with a user-friendly seed tender from North Star Ag. We have seed tenders for every sized operation from Meridian, Unverferth, and J&M. North Star Ag also sells a variety of Valmar spreaders, the leader in air boom delivery, and is a full-service Meridian hopper bin dealer. Visit NorthstarAg.com to see our complete new and used equipment inventory or give us a call.
Ag Week is excited to bring you the Ag Week app with useful features and the latest news and information right at your fingertips. Get your Ag Week news, weather, and the latest episodes of Ag Week TV. Plus, see real-time information on the futures market and view local cash bids for your crops. Stay updated and take Ag Week with you wherever you are. Download the Ag Week app today. A group of farmers is traveling the country to make their feelings known about free trade. The Farmers for Free Trade Motorcade for Trade just wrapped up an 11-state, 3,500-mile tour with a stop in Montana. The group hopes that by promoting the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, it can help improve the ag economy. Former Montana Senator Max Baucus is co-chair of the nonpartisan effort to boost ag production and exports.
We're all Americans, and all of us from ag country are all trying to make sure that we help each other in the ag community get legislation passed. It helps our production, helps our exports.
Baucus says he hopes Congress passes USMCA this summer. In the meantime, the group is planning another tour, this one across the southern U.S. Thanks for watching this week's edition of Ag Week TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com or download the Ag Week app. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. And we'll see you next week.